And here comes Myrtle, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
No, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes
Slack.
Slack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Short track racing on the beach. But it's not Daytona Beach. It's Myrtle. 30+ cars out here tonight. VSRL and SCT Truck Series getting ready to go green flag racing for the Bald Head Island Vacation 150 here tonight. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, up here in the VSPEED booth with flag-to-flag coverage as we get set to go down trackside and grid. We can talk a little bit about who's got that pole award. Frank Zingen gonna put it up on the front row here tonight. Fastest lap time. Talk a little bit about Myrtle Beach. It's a short half-mile oval with shallow bank turns and very tight bottom grooves, a lot like Richmond in their aspect, very flat. So it should make for some exciting racing. Let's take you down trackside and get that starting order here tonight. So again, with the pole, that's Frank Zingen starting in first. Right next to him, Ross Phillips, and less than 1/100th of a second separating these two. Row number 2 is going to belong to Dakota Floyd with Richard Holland in 4th. 5th spot's going to go to Todd Cleveland with Kyle Stewart 6th. 7th position, Nick Gardner with Mark Math in 8th. And rounding out the top 10 here tonight is Steven Aguiar and Cole Jarrett. 11th spot, Sean Langton with Kai Shepard in 12th. 13th, Morgan Cook with Justin Ritchie in 14th. 15th is Rick Fagone with John Sanu in 16th. 17th, Dylan Disborough, John Buell 18th. Rounding out that top 20, we have Brian Hennings in the 74 and Trent Collins in the number 4. Shane Gunter, 21st with Thad Miller, 22nd. 23rd, Randy Saleh with Jacob Daniels, 24th. 25th, Kobe Collins, Riley Laverne, 26th. 27th, Teresa Spiker, Jimmy Sox, 28th. 29th, Wade Palmer, David Collins, 30th. And some of these cars electing not to come out here on the field. We have a few of them. Benjamin Richards, Nicholas Pressey out there. There's Cody Williams not out on the track. Max Cost electing not to take the grid. Garrett Helmlinger And Justin Mullins actually up in the booth for Helmlinger. I'm not sure what Mullins is doing, so we'll have to wait and see. So here's the drone camera here. It's presented tonight. Orange Speed flying that drone for us. And the number 62 of Frank Zingen about to lead them off into turn 1, side by side with Ross Phillips. Let's get set to go green for 150 laps here tonight on the beach. It's Myrtle Beach, live VSRL SET Truck Series. And to lead lap number 1, Frank Zingen gets passed up by Ross Phillips. Now Phillips takes over the lead. We've got Dakota Floyd peeking to the inside of the 62. Good qualifying effort there by the 62 and Zingen. We got a car in the wall back there. That's Todd Cleveland. Stopped in the middle of the groove there in 4. Able to hold it down. No one else gets into the side. The 44. Let's go back on the instant replay and find out what happened to him. He's coming off of turn 2. He's side by side with Mark Math. Now peeks to the inside of Stewart and just locks it up. Gets a little bit of contact there between him and Stewart. We'll go back and watch that from the blip camera, but good avoidance there by the 4. We'll go on board with Trent Collins. And this is the view from the number 4. Good avoidance there. That's going to bring out caution number 1 of the night. So Ross Phillips, Dakota Floyd now get around your pole sitter Frank Zingen. Richard Holland, Kyle Stewart, the top 5. As we pace around this place. Gives us a good chance to talk about Bald Head Island vacations. Discovered Bald Head Island just 20 minutes off of North Carolina's coast, where the Cape Fear River meets the Atlantic. Arrive by ferry and explore by golf cart. Experience nature's paradise with 14 miles of beaches, lush maritime forest, and 10,000 acres of salt marsh. Whether it's a weekend trip or longer, find your perfect vacation home at baldheadislandvacations.com. Through the field here a little bit with some of these drivers, and not a lot of 1.5 miles here on the schedule so far this season, so it's a little out of the ordinary here for some of these guys to come to short tracks. But Ross Phillips, with a great performance this season, finds his way up in the first position. Dakota Floyd looking to try to take that away, the top runner of the Beltway Coffee Machine team. And Zingen, with his best qualifying effort this season, trying to hold on to that top 3. Richard Holland looking to rebound after Talladega. Had a bad time there in Atlanta as well. A few of these guys trying to make back up in the points. There's the 51 of Morgan Cook. John Langton right in front of him, Orange Speed's very own. So a lot of different workarounds here. We're going to do single file restarts if we have repeated cautions. If we go a while, they'll go back to double file. But here tonight, the tight grooves are going to go all the way up on the outside here for this restart. Green flag back up in the air, and we're back live and racing for the second time tonight. Back here side by side, the 88 of Cole Jarrett. To his inside, you've got the number 8 of Sean Langton trying to get by. A little contact as they exit 4. That's Nick Gardner in front of him. The 818 of Agar hits the outside wall, exiting 4 just behind them. But side by side, just inside the top 10, the 88 of Jarrett holding on to that position, and now Langton loses a spot to the 51. Morgan Cook tight on the right rear of the 88 of Jarrett. Down the front stretch, almost peeks the nose in there into 1. Back here for the 16th, 15th position. Rick Fagone gets a little out of shape on the outside, gets passed by the 74 of Hennings. And now Langton trying to resurge back. They both get around. The 88 of Jarrett falls all the way back to the 13th position. Dakota Floyd hanging tight on the bumper here of your leader, Ross Phillips. Only 0.2 of a second separating them as they go into 1. It grows a little bit, but on the back bumper of Phillips, you can see that 24 creeping up. These guys are barely in 4th gear through these corners. And all the way down to the bottom for the 24. The 5 overshoots the entrance into 1. Now side by side for the lead. Floyd doesn't get the run off, though, and Phillips able to hang on to it. Agar losing positions in the 818. I think he tags the outside wall coming out of 2. There he is. He's getting really loose going into 1. Slides it sideways, gets it down off the racing surface, but unfortunately, he's going to lose about 12 positions when it's all said and done. Falls back to 20th. So then we saw a little side by side there for a moment as the 5 of Phillips, he's taken that wide chute into 1 that allows Floyd to get to the inside but doesn't allow him to pass. That run down the backstretch for the 5 of Phillips is just too strong right now. $15, 16 laps into this now. Side by side back here with Langton and Gardner. This is for the 8th spot. Gardner putting in a good press here off of 2. Going to be side by side with Langton as they go into 3. He's able to clear and now picks up another position. He's up 1, down 1 spot rather, where he began this race. Biggest mover of the race here tonight is the 51 of Morgan Cook. 17 laps in, he is up 6 positions. So a good start to this race for the 51. He's behind Mark Math, who is in 6th position. Field starting to spread out a little bit. Your pole sitter, Frank Zingen, has fallen to 3rd, but since held on pretty well. Richard Holland in the 4th spot. He started the race there, so quiet day here for the number 18, just looking to rebound in the points after his last couple races not going well as planned. Math now has a little contact there with the 51, gets into him into 1, and the 199 goes around, and Nick Gardner's involved. That's going to bring out a yellow. We saw it happening on our screen, but let's go back on the instant replay and take another look at it from the blimp camera. You can see the 51 gets into the left rear quarter of the 199 as they go into 1. Comes up ever so slightly, gets into the side of him. Gardner has nowhere to go. Langton gets into the back of him. And then everyone else trying to dodge the 199. So that brings out the second caution of the night. And they're very quick to hit pit road if they do hit pit road here. You see the 51 of Cook probably getting an EOL here, so he's going to bring it down pit road, get some fresh tires on that machine. Mark Math also down pit road. Right now, you're watching the SET Truck Series live on VSPEED. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll bring you coverage on VSPEED right after this.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Back here live, SCT Tutoring, well, Southeast Tutoring Truck Series. Bald Head Island Vacations 150 from Myrtle Beach Speedway. Lights are going to go out on the pace truck. On point right now, Ross Phillips leading this race. He's led for 22 laps, now 23 as they cross the line. There goes the lights on the pace truck. Dakota Floyd in second position. Frank Zingen, the pole sitter. Richard Holland and Kyle Stewart, the top five. We're going to double back up here. They win enough green flag laps that they're going to take a double file. Silverado pace truck about to pull off. All the way back to the top 10 is John Sanu and Brian Hennings. We come off at turn 4, green flag up in the air, and we're back live and racing for the third time tonight. Little check up there on the outside. That allows some of these drivers on the inside line to get an advantage. There goes Thad Miller in 19th. He gains 2 positions on this restart. Just in front of them, Randy Swally on the inside of John Buell for 15th. He gets by. And then ahead of them, you've got Brian Hennings going by the 43 of Kai Shapper. There's the 88 of Cole Jarrett, who was up in the top 10 a moment ago. He's fallen back out of the top 10 in 13th position, trying to work his way back up there. Morgan Cook, who got the EOL penalty, he's back in the 25th position now with Mark Math, who is also involved in that. Math going a lap down. Side by side with Justin Ritchie and Brian Hennings. This is for the top 10 position. Looks like we got a little bit of smoke here on the backstretch. Not sure where that came from. Only getting a little loose coming out of 2. And there goes Hennings now diving to the inside into 1. Gets into the outside wall. And Hennings now with a little bit of damage almost lets the 55 of Ritchie get to the inside. But still on point here, it's the number 5 of Ross Phillips. He's led every single lap since the beginning of this race. He took over before we got lap 1 counted from Frank Zingen. He's led 28 laps, and we've got another caution out on the racetrack. Not exactly sure where this was. Might have been Todd Cleveland here. Cleveland looks like he's just a little bit off the pace here. There it is right there, the 29 involved of Wade Palmer. Let's back it up again. Oh, and the 51 gets into the back of the 29. A little deeper in the field. Cook already struggling, got into the side of Mark Math. Now gets into the back of the 29. Let's go on board with the rear camera here. And the 51, unfortunately, gets into another truck here tonight. The 19 of Laverne has nowhere to go. So 31 laps into this 150 lap race. Probably going to go single file this time around. The 51 of Cook Going to get another EOL fall back to the end of the field. He worked his way up to 20th. But now going to have to fall back. The 29 of Wade Palmer looking to get that lucky dog position, and it's actually Mark Matthews going to go around for that because the 29 had an incident count there when he went a lap down. We're taking another quick commercial break here on VSPEED. When we get back, we're going to go green for the 4th time here tonight at Myrtle Beach Speedway. You are watching the Southeast Tutoring Truck Series.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live for the Bald Head Island Vacations 150. Pace truck is pulling off. We're going to go double file again. The number 5 of Ross Phillips going to lead him into turn 1. Green flag up in the air. We're back live and racing for the 4th time tonight. A good start here for the 5 of Phillips. You can see side by side back here with Gardner on the inside of Holland, and now getting up to the 4th position. Langton dives it to the inside of Gardner now for 4th. A little bit of damage on the right front of that 8 truck. He's got a fender missing. Not exactly sure when that happened for the 8, but side by side behind them with Johnson New now moving to the top, towards the top 5. He gets by the 41 of Stewart for the moment being, and a little loose there for Langton right in front of him. Now diving it down to the bottom for 5th is Johnson New. Doesn't quite get the drive in. There's Holland now on the outside trying to get by Langton. And as loose as Langton has been, you can see the 18, everybody really loose off of 4. And there goes Stewart now up into the outside. He's got another yellow flag out here on the racetrack. Not exactly sure where this happened. I think the 70 of Teresa Spiker's involved in this. Back on our instant replay, let's find out. Looks like maybe Mark Math gets into the back of the 70 here. Coming off a 2, they go into 3. She has to check up for something happening in front of her. Let's back that up one more time and figure out what that was. Oh, someone gets into the door. Not really sure who that was. Looks like the 707 of David Collins comes across the nose of the 70 here. That's going to bring out our 4th caution of the night. So we've run a lot of caution laps, and that's to be expected. You've got 31 trucks still out there on the racetrack. Wade Palmer electing to park it behind the wall here tonight in the 29. Steven Aguirre is 8 laps down in 31st position. Teresa Spiker on the tail end of the lead lap back in 30th. Ross Phillips has led every single lap that we have ran. And hopefully we can get a green flag run in and maybe somebody can give the 5 a run for his money here tonight. But while we got it, let's take this opportunity. Talk a little bit about Orange Speed. You can find one of those Orange Speed drivers out there on the racetrack. There he is right there. Camera's a little bit all over the place here tonight. Let's talk a little bit about Orange Speed SRT, the world's first value-driven sim racing team. You can be your best with Orange Speed SRT. Visit orangespeed.net to learn more. Established in 2020. And there is the number 41 of Kyle Stewart, currently in the 8th position. So getting set back to go green. Lights are out on the pace truck. Are we going to double back up? It looks like we are. I'm not entirely sure. Looks like we are. I know there was some talk pre-race about who's going to double up and win. Just have to wait and see when they call that mark, but here comes the 5 out of turn 4, getting ready to restart. Let's turn up the volume a little bit here for this one. Goes off track again here. He's down here in the what appears to be the old access road, down off the racing surface, but it's still going to trigger a yellow flag. And actually, this is what triggers the caution. Fuel involved. Back on our instant replay to figure this out. Here's Buell going into turn 1. You see some contact there between the 9. He's trying to check up some trucks, drive right through the 4. Trenton Collins. Collins gets punted into turn 1 by the 22. And unfortunately, a lot of trucks involved in that. Brian Hennings, thankfully, safely on pit road, but let's see who all went through the 4 truck. Oh, the 44 gets destroyed here. The 72 involved, Jacob Daniels. He's the one that runs into the back. And a big crash here involving about 5 different drivers. Cleveland, Buell, Gunter involved. Brent Collins, heavy damage. Jacob Daniels. There's Daniels now going down pit road. Try to get some of that repaired. Phillips has stayed out. There's really no reason to come down pit road. Just stay on these tires. I know we have limited sets, but tonight I don't think it's going to be a factor. These guys have paced around this place quite a bit. Let's see if we can pull up our pole sitter, the number 62 of Frank's engine, and see what he's doing. Frank's engine, it's Bradley Cooper in the VSPEED booth. Do you got a copy?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, man. You started up there on the pole, but we really haven't had the opportunity for you to get back up there. A lot of cautions here tonight.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised I even got the pole. I haven't really practiced much this week, and just kind of went out there and threw down a lap. Got lucky, but yeah, trying to save some tires. With all the cautions, that's really helping everybody, but it's going well.
So far, you're back to 4th. You've got Nick Gardner in front of you. If we can get a green flag run, do you think you'll find yourself back up there in the lead?
Yeah, I think so. I think Nick's kind of pushing hard to get through the field here. He was racing kind of hard on the outside, so I kind of just let him go there, hoping that maybe he'd burn his stuff up a little bit more than me.
All right, well, doubling back up. Good luck out there. That's number 62, currently in 4th position. Good luck, man.
Thanks.
All right, Frank's engine in 4th position. Ross Phillips going to lead them into turn 1. Lap 52 coming up here. We're going to go back live and racing for the 6th time tonight. Green flag up in the air, into the restart zone, and we're back underway. On the outside, just like he was talking about it, the 62 of Zinjan now going to put the pressure on the 16 of Nick Gardner for 3rd. Gardner was kind of racing hard, he said, maybe burned up his stuff, and that allowed Zinjan to get the run into 3. He gets by him as they clear into 1. And Nick Gardner going around. Langton gets into the side of him. Big wreck here on the backstretch. Where is the 16 of Gardner? He falls all the way back to 21st position. Richard Holland also involved in this. Let's go back and find out what happened to Holland as well. There's Langton there on the outside, and you can see the contact right here. Sends the 18 of Holland gets turned after the fact. He was checking up for what was happening here. Over here with the 18 of Holland and figure out what exactly went wrong for him. He goes down to the inside wall, locks it up. Has to watch all these trucks go by as he has to wait. This was after the fact. So Holland has to check up, gets tagged by the 41 of Stewart. Not entirely the 41's fault there, but unfortunate for the 18 of Holland. So Gardner and Holland bring it down pit road. Try to get some of this damage repaired, but they're going to have to be quick about it because you go to a lap down in a hurry at this racetrack. Getting the wave around here for some of these drivers. Trying to find where that was. Going down another lap here, maybe, possibly, for the 16 and the 18. There's the 818. Down pit road. He has 6 laps down. Watching Bald Head Island Vacations 150 live from Myrtle Beach. We'll take another quick commercial break. We'll be back right after this.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Racing isn't easy.
Back here live, going back underway, and Ross Phillips leads them into turn 1. Dakota Floyd, Frank Zengen, Sean Langton, the top, and John Sanu, the top 5. Side by side back here with Morgan Cook. He's worked his way back up into the top 10. Just outside of the top 10 is Kai Schappert, Rick Fagone side by side into 1 and 2. We talked about the 16 who was up there in the top 5. He's 1 lap down. You've got the 18 of Richard Holland also a lap down, trying to fight for the lucky dog position as he goes to the inside of Shane Gunter. John Buell, the first car a lap down right now. Old Jarrett side by side for 9th. Morgan Cook going to get by him. Now to the outside of the 55. Justin Ritchie up top in 8th position. Here we go. Side by side again. Orange Speed. And the Vantage machine of Morgan Cook is picking them off one at a time here. On the back bumper of Dylan Disbrow. And Disbrow tags the outside wall. Getting a little loose coming off of 4. That allows the 51 of Cook to get to the inside. Now picks up to 7th position. On the move quickly for the 51. 5th spot still belongs to the 86 of John Sanu. After that restart, Sanu has worked up 11 positions. Biggest mover of the race. That's the 94 of Nicholas Pressey. Started back at 32nd, up to 14th. So side by side back here, these guys still fighting for the lucky dog position. Richard Holland just in front of this. He's to the inside of John Buell. This is for the lucky dog. And you can see the 47 completely missing the front clip on that machine. That was caution number 3 of the night. And trucks into the outside wall. Holland's going to get pinched down to the bottom. And we're going to have another yellow. Looks like the 199 going to take it off the racetrack. Let's go back on our instant replay. The 19 of Laverne goes around. And this checkup here happens in front of these guys. Let's see what's going on with the 70 truck. There's Spiker. She gets into the 707. Not exactly sure what happens here. She loses control, gets into the 707. Comes back down across the track in front of Richard Holland. The faking down pit road is the 5 of Phillips. Wave around going to, I believe, John Buell. Able to get through that unscathed. Holland was to the inside for the lucky dog position as that happened, and unfortunately gets tagged down to the inside wall. Without the right front fender, let's bring the number 8. Here to talk to him real quick. Sean Langton, it's Bradley Cooper in the VSPEED booth. Do you got a copy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that the frustrations are starting to sink in. We've ran probably 2/3 of this under caution, but you're in a good position here where you're not getting caught up in it. The right front fender's missing on that 8 truck. What happened?
Yeah, it feels a little lighter. We've got a little early contact. We're doing a lot of parading here. Hopefully we get some green in. Truck's feeling pretty decent. We're just trying to figure out when we're all gonna come in here. Strategy. It's gonna be that's gonna be the call, I think, when everyone's gonna come down pit road.
So what kind of number are we talking about here? Because we've ran a lot under caution. That's kind of thrown all the strategies out the window. What are we looking at on fuel here?
I'm short. I know not everyone's gonna. I think some people might try and stretch it if we get enough cautions, but I think I'm about 20 short.
All right, well, good luck out there, Langton, as we get set to double up. You're in the 4th spot. Good luck.
Thank you, man.
That's the number 8 of Sean Langton, currently in the 4th position. He's up 7 positions from where he began this race. He has John Sanu behind him and your pole sitter Frank Zingen right in front of him. We don't double back up. We go single file in this restart. The 5 of Phillips going to lead him into turn 1, taking that outside line. Dakota Floyd has run in the 2nd position for quite some time. Let's see if we can get some green flag laps in. Green flag back up in the air. Back live and racing at Myrtle. To lead another lap this time by. Phillips holds on to it. Floyd falls back about 7/10 here on this restart. Back to the clutches of Zingen and Langton. And peeking his nose back into the picture, it's the 51 of Morgan Cook, right up on the back bumper of John Sanu. And he gets into the back of Sanu now. The 86 is around. And that's going to be another caution. The 51 almost looking like a wrecking ball out there tonight. I hate to say that about Morgan. He's a good driver, but here tonight he has gotten into the back of several different cars, and it just seems like he's on the throttle or on the brakes at different times than these other guys. Had a good run going into 3, but just back on the throttle a little earlier than Sanu and gets right into the back of him. So they were flirting with pit road. Now they're going to come down pit road. Here we go for our first pit stops of the night. Ross Phillips leads him down. There goes Sanu. He's going to drop down a lap. Happens so quickly at this racetrack. Engine hits his pit stall. There's Phillips into his. Floyd. Looks like the 5's probably going to win the battle off of pit road. No one electing to take 2 tires. And down and away for the 8 of Langton. Down and away for the 5 of Phillips. Floyd, Zingen, Langton, Stewart, the top 5 here. Disbro electing to stay out, I do believe. The 72 of Daniels, David Collins, also out there on the racetrack as well. Some of these guys came down pit road a moment ago. Dylan Disbro only has 9 laps, and about 5 of those have been under yellow. So he is in a good position, tire-wise, to hang on and maybe keep some positions gained out of this. To change for the lead here on lap 76. This does allow a few drivers to get the wave around. Changes the situation for a couple drivers. John Sanu going to be the first truck a lap down. Richard Holland just behind him a lap down. Jimmy Sox, Teresa Spiker, Morgan Cook gets trapped back a lap down after that EOL penalty he's going to receive. Lights are going to go out on the pace truck this time by. I know I don't have the correct picture up there, but Orange Speed Solutions, the AI Business Strategy Consulting Guide, to guide you through the hype and the noise of AI implementation. Visit orangespeedsolutions.com for more information. The Bald Head Island Vacations 150 here at Myrtle Beach is about to go back underway. They're coming off a turn 4, green flag up in the air, and here comes Dylan Disbro to lead them into turn 1. A rough restart for some of these drivers, and that collects 7 trucks here into 1. We didn't even get the ticker back up. Are we going into turn 1? Rick Fagone, Richard Holland involved. Let's go back on the instant replay. Big check up there. The 7 just didn't go. These guys tried to get the jump. And the 818 of Algar, everybody just flying through there trying to pick up spots. You can see the 43 gets into the back of the 55 of Richie, and it's just dominoes from there. One more time on the TV camera. Like the 8 of Lincoln maybe checks up here. Back to the live shot. Fagone's still in 15th position, but Richard Holland has had a tough night here tonight. Being scored 1 lap down, he has not been able to get back on the lead lap because every caution that's come out since, he's been involved with it. Dylan Disbro, your leader. 43 of Shappert trying to get a wave, I believe. Falls behind the pace car for some reason. I don't think Shappert's going to get that wave around the lucky dog position because of the yellow. I'm going to have to drop back here. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. We're taking another side-by-side here. Quick commercial break. We'll be back live on VSPEED right after this.
I played a couple of simulators, and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Here live, Bald Head Island Vacations 150, and the 7 wasting no time this time to get going green. It's a good jump there on Jacob Daniels in second. There's the remnants of the lead. There's the 5 trying to make a move on the 707 of David Collins. They could have Floyd peeks to the outside there in 3 and 4. Doesn't have anything there. And the 62 of Zinjan falls back a little bit. Currently in the 6th position. These guys trying to race up there. And a couple of the drivers in front of them on older tires. There's a 707. Now the 24 trying to use them as a pick. But Phillips doing a great job defending that position. Here it is for third. A run off of turn 4. Possibly a pass into 1. And 3 wide now. Peeking to the bottom is Floyd. The nose and the door gets shut. Floyd not able to make the pass. On fresh tires here on the outside for Phillips. Trying to figure out where he wants to go. Almost some contact between him and the 707. But he's able to get the run into 1. Now knocking on the door of Daniels into 3. Locks up the front tires a little bit. A little too aggressive, but still able to get the run. Here they come off of 4. The pass for second now. Phillips up to the point. He has to chase down the 7 of Disbro. Disbro with about a 1.5 second lead as they go into 3 and 4. Phillips, Lloyd going by Daniels now, trying to keep pace with the 5. Zengen now all over the back bumper. And we have some smoke into 1. There's the 8 of Langton riding on board now with the number 8. He's going to use the 72 to his advantage here on the outside of Zengen for 5th. And the 72 drops it down low. Not exactly sure what happened. Somebody dropped it down way at the bottom of the racetrack to get out of the way. Thought that was the 72 for a moment, but it wasn't. 1.3 seconds now for Dylan Disbro. The lead's starting to shave away a couple tenths a lap. And Dakota Floyd following right on the back bumper of Ross Phillips. Checking back in with that wave around in the lucky dog battle. John Sanu in the position. First car a lap down. If we get a yellow, he can come back to the lead lap. Teresa Spiker behind him side by side with John Buell. And then it's Richard Holland on further back. He's got the 51 of Morgan Cook on the back bumper. Cook is 2 laps down. And a truck getting loose there. That's the 22 of Gunter. Getting really loose out of 4, but able to hold it together. The lead down to 3 tenths now as they go into 1. Phillips working his way back to the leader. Disbro has about 8 lap older tires than Ross Phillips. He pitted on that second to last caution. And another yellow flag is out. If you want to Cook's going to park it here and go track steward. Let's see if we can find where this happened. Maybe Kai Shappert will take a look back here. .22 Ain Gunter on the outside. There's a truck going sideways. That was the 47 of Buell bringing out the yellow. Buell looking like he had his hands full for quite some time. There's sideways into 1 and maybe had some contact. Let's go back and watch from the blimp camera. This resets everything. Disbro now with no advantage. He had that gap that allowed him to lead a few laps, but now right on the back bumper. He has to get a good restart here to try to stretch this out. We're at lap 99 out of 150. Let's see if we can pull Dylan Disbro up here in the broadcast booth. Dylan Disbro, it's Bradley Cooper in the VSPEED booth. Do you got a copy?
I sure do. What's going on?
Well, Dylan, you elected to pit a little bit earlier than these guys. You're on point here. You're probably going to have to get a really good restart and pray that you can gap the 5 on this turnaround.
Oh yeah, he is much faster than I am this week.
I can see the strategy playing out, though. Dylan, you had to do something, so you hit the third to last caution that we've had. You get in there and get the tire advantage. You're able to stay out. Let's see what you got in store for us, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
It's DNR driver Dylan Disbro on the point here in the closing laps of this race. Going to take the green back here at about lap 102. Lights are going to go out on the pace truck this time by. And a record amount of cautions here tonight. 1 lead change, but 10 cautions, and that's kind of out of the norm here for VSRL. Southeast Tutoring Truck Series is usually pretty good to watch, and here tonight they've struggled a little bit. This track a little out of the norm as well. Not a lot of experience, I'm sure, with this racetrack, playing into the hands of some of these drivers that are new to the iRacing service. But nonetheless, we're going to go back green on lap 102. Dylan Disbro looking to get a good restart. Let's see what he can do here. As they come out of turn 4, he's down and away. Not the greatest restart that he wanted. The 5 of Phillips now going to poke it to the inside. Nothing there yet for Phillips. He probably going to have a hard time getting by this 7. He's going to play defense here and pinch down on the exits of the corner to try to keep that 5 truck behind him. Here they go into 1. Excuse me. Side by side coming out of turn 2 for the lead. Taking the nose again on the exit of 4. They're going to be side by side across the start-finish line. Disbro's going to hold on for 1 more lap. But now the 5 of Phillips dives it down into 1. Going to get the drive off the corner. And as they go into 3, Disbro still holding on. For another lap there for the 7. Overshoots the entry to 1 a little bit. That does allow Phillips to get by. And now the pass for the lead is over. Crossover move. Defensive driving by the 5 of Phillips. He's able to hold it off. This top 5 pretty much on top of each other. You got Sean Langton back here in 4th and Kyle Stewart in 5th. Slowly creeping up on this 2nd place battle as Floyd goes to the inside of the 7 of Disbro. Those 8-lap older tires are starting to even out a little bit. He's able to play a little more defense with the 24 of Floyd. And Floyd looks like he loses ground to Langton. And sideways off of 4. Disbro almost loses it, but he's able to keep it in check. Now as they go into 1, he's still losing a little bit of grip, and he falls back to 3rd. And into the wall there for the 7. That's going to allow another position. Langton gets by. Close call there for the 8 and the 7 coming out of 4. 41 is Stewart now to the inside. That's unfortunate there for the 7 of Disbro. He was looking at a possible podium in the closing laps. Cole Jarrett up to 6th, back rebounded after falling out of the top 10. He had that freight train that passed him. He got moved out of the groove and fell back to 13th. He's now in 6th. Frank Zingen, the pole sitter, has fallen back to 7th spot, but looking to gain, maybe get back up there in the top 5. We'll have to wait and see in the 62. Nicholas Pressey, most positions gained here tonight. 24 spots up to 8th. Having a quiet night, but man, is he doing a good job without that right front fender. Justin Ritchie in the 55. He's beat up, but he's still in the top 10, running 9th currently. And then right behind him, a guy that's had an up and down night as well. That's the 707 of David Collins. The first car a lap down, that's the 18 of Richard Holland. He's going to the inside of Kai Schappert here, almost 3 wide as they go into 1. He just needs to get back on the lead lap here. Few drivers that have retired tonight. Morgan Cook takes it behind the wall. Stephen Aguirre, Trent Collins, Mark Math, Brian Hennings, and Wade Palmer off the racetrack here tonight. Ross Phillips resumes the lead. 82 laps led, now 83 as he comes across the line. And we've got about 35 laps to go as it sits. Little passing going on back here with Nick Gardner in 12th. The 707 of Collins is going to fall back again into 13th. The 16 with a lot of damage, but still pretty fast. He's on the back of Benjamin Richards here, and Richards gets loose, loses it down into the grass, but gets it back going straight, loses a ton of positions, goes from 12th back to 18th. Disbro holding on to the top 5 as it sits right now. Those tires have not evened out yet. These guys still have to put another probably 7 to 10 laps on there before they'll even out. Talking about 47 laps on this stint here. 48 as they go across the line. And Disbro just trying to hold on to the top 5. He has the 88 of Cole Jarrett peeking to the inside in 1. Not able to do anything with it here. They actually start to make a little bit of ground back up on Kyle Stewart. Phillips is still in check here with Dakota Floyd on the back bumper. A peek to the inside there for the 24. The 5 starting to struggle a little bit here. A little bump there by the 24 to let him know I'm coming. And into 1, Floyd is putting on the pressure. Out of 3 and 4, 0.2 of a second separating these drivers. Been a good race so far between the 2 of these drivers, and Phillips has just had the edge with the clean air. Floyd just not able to get by. .30 laps to go now. Does Floyd have anything else left in the tank? Langton works his way up into 3rd now. Kyle Stewart gets around Cole Jarrett and Frank Zingen. So put Stewart up to 4th, and Jarrett gets around Zingen as well. Up for the top 5 in the 88 machine. John Sanu, who was up in the top 5 a moment ago, had that contact with the 51 of Stewart. Or not Stewart, but Cook, rather. He's back on the lead lap in 16th right now, trying to get by the 00 of Saleh. Some of these drivers praying for a caution. Richard Holland, the first car a lap down, praying a yellow comes out, and he's not involved with it. Still a lot of racing going on this racetrack. It's the 00 Swale getting around the 707 of Collins. Sanu going to follow suit down on the inside. There's the 15 of Kobe Collins all the way up on the outside here. And working their way up to 12th and 13th. There's Kai Shepard in front of them. He's about 2.5 seconds ahead of this group. As they try to get it sorted, we've got about 25 laps to go. Ross Phillips coming off of turn 4 now. The pressure back on from Floyd. Floyd going to get a good run coming out of 4 here. A little loose there for the 5 in the entrance of 1. Back up on the bumper for the 24. Trying to time it just right. Now lap traffic going to be a factor. There's the 22 of Gunter in front of the 5 of Phillips. And comes down across the nose. And side by side for the lead now, opening up the door for Floyd. Almost 3 wide, and the 22 of Gunter is in the way here. Three wide as they come off of 4. Floyd almost has a break that he needed there with the 22 of Gunter, but not able to work out. The 70 of Spiker just in front of them as they navigate through this lap traffic. Up on the outside now for the 24. Gets a little loose coming off of 4, and he loses all that ground. Phillips looking like he might run away with it. Struck into the wall. That was Teresa Spiker. And 22 of Gunter also into the wall. Phillips now stretches the lead out over a second, trying to get by these lap cars. He goes to the inside of the 9 of Richards. And a lot of these guys trying to get back on the lead lap. Doesn't look like it's going to work out. Less than 25 to go. 18 laps as they cross the line. Phillips' lead starting to shrink back down. Floyd slowly creeping back up. As Phillips tries to get around the 9, he hasn't been able to do it yet. Side by side off of 4. The 9 moves up to the outside. Doesn't pinch, but just has that outside lane. And it's so tough to pass here, even with lap down cars. You can see the 5 of Phillips wagging that wheel back and forth, trying to get it to settle in. And almost an accident there in front of him. That was the 10 of Pagone. He's on the back bumper of what looks like the 01 of Jimmy Socks. Navigating back through, the lead shrinks down to under half a second. There's Floyd going through. 3 wide now with the 9. And checked out here from Sean Langton as he tries to navigate some of this traffic in 3rd. Working his way through. He's got a pretty sizable gap of 1 second back to Kyle Stewart. Frank's engine starting to get racy here for 4th. About 61 laps on these tires. These guys should be good on fuel to make it to the end, but if we do have a caution, I guarantee you some of these guys are going to come down and take the gamble, take that last set of tires and see what they can do with it. Side by side in front of these two, 4th and 5th position, trying to race for a spot while they have, looks like the 8 of Langton, who got held up by the 22. That allows Stewart and Zingen to catch back up. Dylan Disbro, who is on those older tires, falls back to 7th. He's got a pretty good gap back to Nicholas Pressey of 1.2 seconds. Justin Ritchie 9th. Nick Gardner 10th after the recovery and that accident. Going to maybe come home with a top 10 position. So the battle has calmed down. The lap traffic has been navigated. We are 10 laps to go. The 5 of Phillips, the 24 of Floyd. Couple tenths separating them, but Phillips getting a great run out of 2. Gonna stretch that lead back out a little bit. 9 laps to go, and Floyd hasn't given up, but I can tell you that truck is getting used up. Every lap that they drive off of this corner, you can see him getting more and more sideways. Half a second going back here. He drives it into 1, gets a good drive in, but just not a good drive off here for the 24. Not able to hang with the 5 of Phillips with about 8 laps to go now. Phillips has some more lap traffic to navigate here with the 707. David Collins. Laps tick away. Another one here. Down to the bottom for the 5 of Phillips. Going to try to navigate the 707. Almost some contact as they come out of 4. And a quick dive here by Floyd, who gets right back up to the bumper for the closing laps. 0.2 of a second. Phillips has been ice cold, though. Nothing has pressured him to make a mistake just yet. Floyd's going to have to get right up on the bumper. 6 laps to go now. Not looking like a yellow's going to come out. We've got 5 to go up on the board. Sean Langton gets a little sideways, trying to get by the 15. Opening up the door here for the 41 of Stewart. This is for 3rd. And Zinja now dives it to the bottom. Almost some contact. Zinja getting racy with the 41 of Stewart, trying to get by for 4th. Justin Ritchie and Kai Shappert have been going at it for a couple of laps. Shappert now to the bottom. 55 plays defense. 4 laps to go. The 18 of Richard Holland, who's been praying for a caution, not getting it. Falls back. He's not the first car a lap down. Coming by the line here for 3 to go. He stretches the lead back out to 6/10. Ross Phillips looking to capitalize and win another race here for VSRL. Two to go up on the board here. Phillips having an outstanding race here tonight. 119 laps led out of the 150. Dylan Disbrow, the second most laps led. And here they come out of turn 4 for the white flag. Going to go up in the air now. Presented by VRX Simulators. Just has to do it one more time. He's been perfect all night long. A pass going on back here between Pressey and that looks like Nick Gardner. As they take the white flag, the 86 of Sanu dives it down deep. There's 3 wide. But coming off of the final time, it is the 5 of Ross Phillips, your winner here tonight. The race still happening back here between Gardner and Pressey. Off of the final time, it's going to be Pressey for 8th, Gardner for 9th, and John Sanu getting 10th. But there's the 5 truck of Ross Phillips, going to burn it down on the front stretch. Another win in the books here for Ross Phillips at Myrtle Beach. You're watching the Bald Head Island Vacations 150 from Myrtle Beach. 150 laps completed here tonight. We're going to round up your top 3 and have post-race interviews for race number 6 out of 15. Take a quick commercial break and we'll be back right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live, Bald Head Island Vacations 150 from Myrtle Beach Speedway. Southeast Tutoring Truck Series has concluded race number 6 of the night here on VSPEED, and we're down on pit road. We're catching up with your third place finisher of the night. That's going to be the number 8 of Sean Langton. And Sean, we talked to you a little bit there during a caution break, but looked like that right front fender missing really helped you keep that right front cooled off.
Yeah, thanks, man. Hold on
you
one
got
second.
a lot of race chatter out there right now.
Yeah, you're good. Sorry about that.
It's all good. Hey, I tell you what, Sean, it looked like tonight it was just a matter of survival. This track took no prisoners. If you were a lap down and you got trapped there, it was almost impossible to get back up because the cautions just continue to happen to the same people here tonight.
Yeah, track position was definitely key. That's why we were kind of stressed out on when to come in. We kind of made a team decision on our team chat radio on when to come in. And I knew that we'd pass those trucks on old tires that stayed out. So I felt good. The truck was getting really bad there. I had a lot of rear brake dialed in it. And I think that helped me on the long run when the right front was wearing out. And I was able to hold them off there at the end. It was actually coming back to me. It was getting a little tight, but I could manage it, and I just had to be really easy on the throttle. Lap traffic was tough. You know, there were some guys, I get that they were racing out there too, but I got sent pretty good going into 3, and I thought it was over.
Yeah, we saw the navigating of the lap traffic. It kind of allowed Stewart and Zingen to catch right back up to you and start putting the pressure on. Talk about the first half of this race. You got involved in that, I believe, the second caution, and that must have been where you got that right front fender tore off, but you're able to recover and come back up here into the podium. Walk us through how difficult that was.
Yeah, that was early. I think Morgan got into math, and then I just got collected, and that's what made my truck a little lighter, missing the right front. And then, you know, I knew it was a short track. I knew the damage wouldn't affect me as long as the steering wheel was straight. So I really just tried not to think about it and just ran my race and got a third.
I see a C+J on the B post of this truck. You want to talk a little bit about that?
That is my buddy Charlie, 603designs.com. If you need a paint, hit up my bud Charlie. That is him and his better half, Julie, I believe. Charlie plus Julie.
All right. So there you have it. I was wondering about that. I didn't know if maybe, you know, you went by another name and you had somebody that I really don't know. So outside of that, Langton here tonight, there's the contact you had with the 15 into 3, but you were talking about that. Good job here tonight. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, I'd also like to apologize to, I think it was the 16, Garner, the Mountain Dew truck. They said it on the race control as a racing incident. I think he was coming up a little, I was coming down trying to keep him low, and he ended up wrecking. I really feel bad about that. He probably had a top 3 truck too. So sorry, Nick. Good hard racing with you. It's nothing intentional, man. I know you're a good hard racer. As far as I'd like to thank 603designs.com, my buddy Charlie, Bald Head Island Vacations. If you need anything like that, go hit up Thad. He's the man. He'll hook you up. Baldheadislandvacations.com. Orange Speed, of course, all my teammates, VSRL, Southeast Tutoring. And yeah, that was a good long, that last green flag run was pretty fun. I was pleasantly surprised to get that in. I thought, you know, it might be a parade fest the whole time, but that was good. I'm proud of everybody for letting us get that in.
Well, outside of that, Sean, congratulations on the 3rd place finish, and good job holding them off there to stay on the podium here tonight. Next week's Bristol. Good luck.
Thank you.
There's your third place finisher, Sean Langton, and the number 8 Orange Speed Machine. Let's catch up with your second place finisher here tonight. It's going to be Dakota Floyd. And man, we saw you trying your butt off. You come home in second, but you put the pressure on the 5 pretty much all night tonight, kept him in check.
I tried my very damnedest, Bradley. Especially with all those cautions. I just wanted to make sure there was no wrecks around me. And the last third of that race, when we were able to go green, me and Ross got into some clean air on that last restart. My goal was just to keep the tires under me. Look for a pass somewhere. I had a couple of chances. It's just the tires just weren't there to stick it, and all the lap traffic was bogging us down. It was tough to even just make a pass in clean air, let alone with all the other variables.
And we saw you 3 wide there with the 22 at one point. That was Shane Gunter on the outside. The lap traffic kind of brought Ross back to you a couple different times, but you're just not able to complete the pass. How tough was it all night just to get to that point?
Oh, it's this combo is ridiculous to drive. It's once you're about 15, 20 laps on the tires, it tightens up first, and then it all of a sudden the rears just go, and it is unbearably loose. I was getting sideways trying to throttle down the front stretch. That's how loose it was.
Yeah, it looked like the bumps were upsetting the truck a lot, and you guys just out of nowhere unpredictably snapping the wheel back and forth, trying to keep it going straight. But you're able to do it a little bit better than everyone else, just not one truck. Dakota, congratulations on second, though. It was fun to watch you guys battle at the end.
I appreciate it, Koo. It was definitely a lot of fun once we were able to get some green flag laps put down for sure.
So you think if this race, if you could go back, maybe get a couple, green flag pit stops, or is there anything that you maybe would have changed the outcome here?
If we would have went green the whole way, I think it would just come down to like what the last third of that race was. It was just who was going to be better on the old tires. And a matter of who decided to come in for tires first and all that.
We watched Dylan Disbrow come down a little earlier than you guys, fell back to 7th. But outside of that, Dakota Floyd, do you have anybody you'd like to shout out for second place performance here tonight?
Shout out the league, all the admins, putting on awesome league so far, man. This has been great. It's short track racing. Yellows are gonna happen, especially here. It's a tough track combo to drive. Really no fault on anybody. It's, we make do, we move on to next week, but definitely shout out to the league and all the admins for putting on awesome races. Appreciate you, Coop, for putting on broadcast, watch back. I got to thank the sponsors on the truck, Beltway Coffee and Luke Transport. And I appreciate everybody that's watching the broadcast. My girlfriend watched the broadcast. Appreciate her support week in and week out, watching me race.
We appreciate you and everybody that tuned in here tonight. We thank you for your time, Dakota Floyd, going back short track race, and the one that got away. We're going to go to Bristol next week, so good luck.
All right, appreciate it, Coop.
There's your second place finisher of the night. That's Dakota Floyd in the number 24. Finally, we're going down to victory lane. We have Ross Phillips in the number 5, and the dominant performance of 121 laps led. You took over the lead on lap 1 and never looked back. Couple situations here tonight that might have played out had we had green flag racing. I think the outcome would have been the same. Ross Phillips, your winner here tonight. How does it feel, man?
Always feels good to be, come out number 1. I don't know if it would have been the same, though. That Dakota was keeping me honest there pretty well.
Yeah, we saw it. It looked like he was putting the pressure, and then with the lap traffic, he'd come right back. The passing here tonight just looked impossible after about 10 or 15 laps.
Yeah, it absolutely was. You really, to get around anybody really with newer tires, you got to put a bumper to somebody and just pray to God you don't turn him because it's going to put you to the back. But Dakota and I run, nose to tail there pretty much most of the race, and he tried to stick it in there a couple of times. Tried to bump me a couple of times, but we just held on to it, and thankfully he didn't turn us. And it was damn good racing with him and I. And then I saw him coming. I just kept seeing him coming. And then he got me on the outside, and I told him down there before we got up here, I think he'd have got me on the outside, but I used whatever lap truck that was. I used it as a pick and prayed to God he didn't come down on me and, kill all of us.
Yeah, that was the 22 of Shane Gunter. I remember that battle. You guys ended up 3 wide out of 2.
Yeah, that was nuts. That whole race was nuts. I'm wore out, brother.
Yeah, I'd say it's a workout. It looked like you guys were swatting bees in the cockpit tonight.
Oh my God, you're telling me getting into 3 and 4, like 1 and 2 was not horrible because you could just kind of slow maintain the slide as it's going into the corner. But 3, man, it was so snappy. It just, I'm wore out. My left leg hurts.
Well, I mean, on the brakes, on the throttle, transition so quick. It's almost like Martin's here tonight. But Ross, you did it better than everybody else. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out and thank?
Yeah, mainly tonight, just Dakota for running me so damn clean. I mean, that was an awesome battle with him and I. I knew it was probably going to be. Garrett, Morgan, Kyle, Justin Ritchie, all the guys, that are now adminning VSRL that put this thing on. Obviously, those guys are mostly in Orange Speed as well. So thanks, a huge shout out to the Orange Speed team. Thanks again for an awesome broadcast. I'm going to go probably fall asleep too. Don't take that the wrong way.
Hey, I'm fine with tucking people in at night. That's okay. I'm okay with that. But hey, and shout out to you. I saw you up there in the top 10 in points there in the Marconi C fixed. So
yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Let me look at this real quick. I'm still on here. Let's.
Well, I just went on the points. You fell out, but it's tight. It's tight up there.
Yeah,
These guys just
yeah,
crossed the
it really
1,000
is.
threshold.
A lot of the guys on the Orange Speed team know that I'm over there in the Penske channel with a lot of the big names like Tuberco. I'm sure you know the name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Josh Williams and all of them. We've also got we're at Homestead this week. This ought to be fun. We've also got Jacob Schneider, however you say his name in there. And that guy's always bad fast. But
yeah, we watched it tonight. The 11, I believe, is what Schneider drives.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we were live there on McConey's setup shop for the C fixed, and those guys put on a pretty good show. There was a couple cautions, but always a good show. And you're up there in the top 10. That's a major accomplishment as well. So, Ross, congratulations on the win here tonight.
Appreciate it.
And we're going to Bristol next week, so I know that's in your wheelhouse as well.
Oh yeah.
Look forward to maybe having you back up here in the broadcast booth.
I am praying to God, like I'm this is not being put in a bad way at all, but I'm really hoping with as many people as we got into the league now that we're going to have some real competition up front because I want to race with some people. It's fun when you're racing around people. It's not fun when you're half a lap out in front of everybody running by yourself.
We're looking at last year, the 24 Floyd was another guy that, I mean, might be more of the same. You might be battling nose to tail. So
I hope, man. He's fun to run. He's fun to run with. I think Morgan just posted that he's going to call it quits on this next week. He's not going to run next week, which it's usually pretty fun running with him. And I don't think Garrett's going to run. So there's two of my guys that I love running with that aren't going to be in it. So,
well, outside of that, congratulations again, Ross, and we'll see you next week. Maybe in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, hopefully. Appreciate it, bud.
There's the race winner, the number 5 of Ross Phillips, getting it done here tonight. Let's bring up your final order. It was a fun one here tonight. Final results up on the screen. Ross Phillips, Dakota Floyd, and Sean Langton, the top 3. And we round off the field with Kyle Stewart in 4th position. Frank Zingen, the pole sitter, is going to come home 5th. Cole Jarrett, I believe, highest finish here for the 88. He's going to come home 6th. Dylan Disbrow able to hold on to 7th position. Nicholas Pressey up 24 spots from where he began this race. Going to come home 8th. Nick Gardner recovering to 9th. And John Sanu rounding out the top 10. 11th spot, Kai Shappert with Jacob Daniels in 12th. Justin Ritchie 13th. Randy Saleh in 14th. David Collins 15th. Benjamin Richards 16th. Jimmy Sox 17th. Kobe Collins at 18th. Richard Holland 19th. And John Buell rounding out the top 20. The cars lap down from 15th on down. Here's Teresa Spiker in 25th, or 21st position rather. Shane Gunter 22nd. Todd Cleveland 23rd. Rick Fagoon in 24th. 25th. Riley Laverne. Thad Miller 26th. Morgan Cook parking it for the night. 57 laps down. Going to come home 27th. 28th. Stephen Aguilar in the 818. 29th will be Trent Collins. Mark Math 30th. Brian Hennings, 31st. Wade Palmer, also off the racetrack. These guys parking it all behind the wall from 27th on down. I'd like to thank you for watching tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the subscribe button and never miss a single race as we go live at 9, 9:15. I think we're going to bump it back a little bit. 9:15 Eastern Time at Bristol Motor Speedway. That's next Monday. Be sure to tune in. But for everybody at VSPEED, Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, Connor Horn, and Alec Martinez, I'm Bradley Cooper signing off for the night. Take care, everybody.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
And here comes Myrtle, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Marty's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
No, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag